Okay, everyone, welcome to E201. This is section 04. We are meeting here at 10 o'clock every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 to 11. Um, Apologies for the delay in setting up the course website. As you can see, this website is very different from, well, the ones that you're probably used to. Uh, the entire course is actually, I've structured it and I've designed it using UDL principles, which is Universal Design for Learning. So if you have not read through the majority of the website, that's what I'm going to spend time today. We're going to go over the syllabus. I'm going to go over the course structure, and I will, go over all the homework assignments, how and what you need to do to earn the knowledge and your grades in this class. Right. So my name is Hiren Trada. I will be your instructor professor for E201 for this quarter. I've been doing this for quite a while. Um, when I first started, it was, well, way back in the 90s. So I have been an electrical engineer for a very long time. I have taught this class at Cal Poly for more than 3 years. Well, actually, this is the start of my fourth year now. And I used to teach this class at a different university before, University of Louisville in Kentucky, home of the Kentucky Derby, fastest 2 minutes in sports. If you've ever seen that, horse racing, right? That's also where I went to like grad school, and I obtained my doctorate in electrical engineering from there. Originally, I'm from India. I got my undergrad degrees in electronics and telecommunication engineering from India, and I came to Kentucky, Louisville, for my PhD. From there, I went to UCSB. I was there for a year and a half. I was a research scholar there. And then in September 2018, I was offered a lecture position here. And so then I've been at Cal Poly ever since then. So that's about me. Um, I would like to know more about you, and I would also like to know more. Well, not me personally, but I would like to let the students get to know each other a lot. Now, we are all here in this classroom from very diverse backgrounds, personally and professionally speaking, right? This is an electrical engineering class for non-EE majors. So we are here from like aerospace, mechanical, biomedical, civil, industrial. I've had students from history, art history, just because they were doing some sort of concentration in that area. But the primary reason that you are in this class is because your department is making you do it. It's kind of like the idea where kids say to their parents, like, why do I have to do this? Is because my parents are making me do it. Well, one of the biggest reasons that non-EE majors need to learn this is because when you get out, not get out, when you actually graduate and go out into the industry, you're always going to be part of a big team. And that team is going to comprise of like engineers and scientists and researchers from all various backgrounds, right? So you need to be able to know how to talk to those people, need to know how to maintain some systems. Nowadays, of course, everything runs on like controllers, microcontrollers, even code, right? So students also need to know a little bit of programming, right? So the the fundamental knowledge has not changed over the years, but there are things that are always evolving, and so you have to update your skills at all times. So when I was a student, we didn't have to know programming, right? Coding skills like C language and basic programming languages. Now it's almost essential. If you're sitting in a meeting room, it's almost essential. Like an electrical engineer or a mechanical engineer, biomedical engineer needs to know some sort of coding. And so it's the same principle that's being applied. Non-EE major needs to learn some fundamentals of engineering. As a engineer, you will design something someday, but think about the technician who will actually build the circuit. Okay, so that technician's probably, might have graduated high school, if that, might have an associate's degree, but probably not more than that. So you would be actually designing a system in your own field, whether it's aerospace, mechanical, biomedical, and the technician is building it. So you need to be able to guide, you as an engineer need to be able to guide the technician how to best work that system. And so you need to have this knowledge. Okay. Now the course, the material that you learn in this course is not something that is unilaterally decided by the EE department. Okay, it is all of your departments coming together and telling us that this is what we need to teach their students. And so the syllabus, the material, everything that's in here is being done on the guidance of your individual departments. It is not something that we just unilaterally decide, okay, this is what you need to learn. That's not how this is structured. Now, beyond that, of course, every instructor has their own methods and techniques. As I mentioned before, I can't remember where I did it, but in course information. As I mentioned before, I have designed this course with UDL design principles. UDL basically stands for Universal Design for Learning. It basically leverages technologies and lots of other things to actually address a wide variety of student learning styles. So student learning styles might go this wide, and from basic level all the way to the top very advanced learners. So UDL basically tries to address all kinds of learners in the same classroom. Okay, so that's why it's structured like this. In my classes, I typically do not have any midterms. So, well, great news out front. There's no midterm examinations in my classes. There's only a series of short quizzes. Okay, every Monday we will have a quiz. Every single Monday, well, except for today. So there's a series of 9 quizzes. Every time you come into class on Monday, there will be a quiz right up front. That spreads out the work that you need to do. Okay, so if you mess up like 1 or 2 here, it does not adversely affect your grade. But if you do want a good grade, then you have to work hard for the entire quarter. Okay, so one or 2 missteps is not going to affect your grades a lot. But I'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's go into the front page. All right, so the front page. Introduce yourself is a discussion forum. It's worth 10 points, probably 5 minutes of your time. And all you need to do is make a post in there, not asking you to divulge any personal information that you're not comfortable with. You only post what you are comfortable with, or sharing about yourselves. So this is actually for students to get to know each other, right? You'll usually be in a classroom, but since you're in different majors, you might not come across each other in the same building, the same department. So this class is one place where I encourage students to actually get to know each other. All you do is you post a few of your hobbies, your likes, and maybe you would meet other like-minded people who share the same interests as you do. And it has happened in the past. Like, and I would see the discussion forums, and they would say, "Hey, Professor Trada, I was very happy to actually do this because I met this person who had the same taste in music or movies as I did." And so, it's just a way of students to get to know each other. That's all. It's due on Saturday. Again, it's not optional, but again, it's only worth 10 points. If you feel like you don't want to do it, that's your decision. But again, it's only worth 5 minutes of your time. So that's the introduce yourself section. The syllabus link on here is the same link that's on the left. So on the left pane, you have all these links. So this syllabus link from the front page in the center is the same as the one on the left. There's no difference, as you can see. Right. All right. So that was instructor course information. First half of this class, we will learn DC analysis techniques, and in the second half, we will apply them to AC circuits. From physics classes, I assume that students are kind of familiar with AC and DC, at least a little bit. We'll go over everything, obviously, but I just want to make sure, I know where the students are coming from. So first half of the class, again, we learn DC techniques, and the second half, we take the same techniques, we apply to AC. There's a lot of math involved when we get to AC. Let's see, first day of class is today, Monday, September 20th. Last day is December 3rd. Class meets in person every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to 11 in this classroom. Okay. Now, before some classes, I will post videos like maybe a day or two in advance. Students would be required to watch these short concept videos. So they would be about 5 minutes, 6 minutes, very short. They're not going to be more than 10 minutes long. I'm not going to make you sit there and watch a video that's like 1 hour long. It's only going to be short concept videos, and this is only depending on the week and depending on the day. So you would watch these short concept videos. You would come to class. You would discuss the topic in that video. I will explain further. I will answer student questions, and then I will solve example problems in class. Okay. So even though we meet every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in this classroom, it's an in-person class. There is some online component that you might have to do. So if I had to choose or describe, if I was forced to choose and describe this course, I would say that it is an in-person hybrid course. I would not call it hybrid, but again, university guidelines, they have certain things in there. So if I was forced to classify it, then I would classify it as an in-person hybrid, just because there are some online videos. The other thing is, I do record these videos. Sorry, the in-person video, and I'm right now broadcasting on Zoom. Okay, the Zoom option is there only for students who need to be absent for any university recognized excuse, whether it's a medical excuse, like a conference travel, athletic event, anything that is university recognized absence, I will allow students to actually view the lecture via Zoom. Now, just by its very nature, because primary focus is in person, I'm not like looking at the screen, looking at the chat window. There's no one on there anyway. But I would not be able to answer questions in the chat. It is just there, so it's a secondary option for students to actually, if you are, if you're sick, whether because if it's a COVID, or maybe it's just you have the flu, or something else. I don't want what you have. Okay, so don't come to class. I will make sure that your learning does not suffer. Okay, if you need to miss a quiz or an assignment or something like that, I will make sure you have every opportunity to make up that assignment. So don't come to class. However, that does not mean that students should take advantage of the modality, the dual modality, right? Just because you feel sleepy or you feel lazy to not come to class that day, just so I'll watch it on Zoom or I'll watch the lecture later. That's not what it's for. Okay, we are meeting in person every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The Zoom option is like secondary. Yes.
What happens in case that we want to review like the material again?
Absolutely.
Oh,
That's going to be the next point. So the additional benefit is that I record these, and it's only the shared screen that's being recorded, right? Right now, there's the camera is like this. Nobody needs to see my face. So even during the pandemic, the only thing I recorded was just the shared screen. And that kept the videos very nice and small, manageable file size. And I posted on YouTube, so it's universally accessible from any device that you want, whether it's your smartphone or your tablet or your laptop computer. That just makes it easy, right? No passwords to remember, nothing to do. You just bookmark that one link, and that's it. And that link will be on the website on the front page. So you just click on the lecture videos right there. It'll take you directly to the playlist. Right now, it's not set up, but I will do so later today once I get the first video going. And so you can also review whatever we go through in class at a later period in time. That's the secondary benefit. So again, the Zoom option is there for students who have to miss class for any recognized absence. All right, any other questions? All right, yes.
also like this is how much is the limit that we are going to have like on.
So I will go over that. No, it's fine. Questions are, I always welcome questions. So anytime you need to like interrupt, hey, you have a question, it's fine. Like I don't get offended. I actually welcome students interrupting me and asking questions. If I make them, we are all human here. So, if I'm teaching something, I make an error, 2 + 2 should be 4. Maybe I do 2 + 2 as 5. You should point out, hey, that's incorrect. You need to go back to elementary school. So don't hesitate to speak up in my classes. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, COVID-19. This is pretty standard. I've directly copied and pasted here from Cal Poly's website, which is what kind of we are required to do, or at least, if not required, at least they recommend us to do it. And I'm sure that students have read through this, hopefully. If whether you're vaccinated or not, we are all required to wear a mask. I was teaching face-to-face all through the pandemic, so I was on campus every single day. So it's not a big change for me. The only change is that I'm now seeing people. There were days last year when I would be on campus and I literally would not see any other person. Right from the moment I parked my car to the time I would end my day, I would not meet any other person. And days when I was teaching, of course, yeah, I would have like 18 or 20 students in class. But we were all masked up, we had face shields, and there were no outbreaks in class. So the masking actually works if you wear it properly, and I see everyone is wearing it properly. You can see I'm wearing like two masks right here, right? One of the first one is disposable, so I change that out every couple of days. And it's a wire rim. You wear it as high as possible, so that it does not. Well, it's comfortable as comfortable as it can be. If I put this on the soft tissue, then it's pressing down right here, and that makes it uncomfortable. So I want to make sure that it's as high as possible, and that's the reason that you would have read that it should cover the whole nose. So if you have a mask that's like lower down, it's gonna make it uncomfortable. Especially me because I wear glasses. If I have a tight fit up top with a wire rim, then all the air actually goes down and does not go up. That's another reason why you should, you know, be doing that. But whatever the fit you do, the primary benefit is that it does not protrude out far out. It either goes up or it goes down. Okay. Uh, So that was COVID-19. Green Pass upload. So the Green Pass, I'm sorry, it might have caused confusion. The Green Pass is basically the green smiley face on the campus pass. That's what I meant. Okay, that's what I meant by the Green Pass. The Green Pass, that what I'm referring to is the green smiley face of your campus pass. And I know students have uploaded. I haven't checked it yet for today. I just did not have time, but I want to make sure everybody does upload it every single day. Okay, because I will check it. All right, I just don't want to spend time at the door trying to get everyone out. So it'll be simple. You just take a screenshot. The first, you should get in the habit because you're going to do this for the entire year, entire academic year, and probably even beyond that. You might be doing this every single day. So get into the habit. As soon as you wake up in the morning, do a self screen. If you feel like, if you feel this temperature, if you don't feel right, then be honest, be truthful, right? You don't want to cause an outbreak. That's what we are here. We want everyone to be safe. We are not just protecting ourselves, you're protecting everyone around us. So if there is a slight outbreak in the classroom, then everyone's on Zoom. So we don't want that. So just be honest. Again, as I said, if you do need to be absent, Zoom option is there. I will make sure your learning does not suffer. Okay. So as far as the campus pass goes, just do it the first thing every single morning. Have your green pass and then upload it. Take a screenshot, upload it on Canvas website. All right, attestation form. I think it's you only have to do it once. You just basically, if you agree, you say agree. If you do not agree, then feel free to drop out of the class. And then Green Pass uploads. It should show up in your assignments. Okay, you just upload your picture, whether it's JPEG, PDF, just upload it onto the website. All right. So class schedule. You can look at the class schedule later. It's just basically the topics that we're going to study. Course information. Let's continue with course information. Class notebook. I pretty much did all of this here. Class notebook. How many of you are familiar with Microsoft's OneNote? How many of you use it? It's pretty good. It's a very powerful software. It's free. It's available on all platforms, whether it's Windows, Mac OS, iOS, Android. You can sync your notebook across everything. It's a virtual notebook that's been around for a number of years, and you can keep everything organized. As a college student, OneNote is a lifesaver. Trust me. If you've not used it yet, if you're not discovered it, I would encourage you to actually start using it. Now, the class notebook is basically is a special feature of OneNote. I've set up a class notebook from inside Canvas, and it's basically what I will do is I will copy all the slides that I have into that class notebook. And the class notebook, once you sign up, is automatically available at your end. You cannot edit those pages. You cannot write on it. You cannot do anything. But anything I do at my end, like if I do an annotation, if I write on the slide, any annotations, any notes I capture, any problems that I solve is automatically available to you, synced in real time and available to you at your end. So you are free to take notes during class, but you do not absolutely have to do so because everything, my voice, audio is being recorded, and then any annotations I make, any notes I take is also automatically available to you at your end. Slides are already posted, so you can feel free to print them out if you wish. Again, that's a personal choice. Again, as I said, UDL principle, multiple modalities. You have the option of printing out the slides, have a hard copy with you. You can have it on your tablet, your iPad, whatever electronic device you prefer. You can have it, access it in OneNote. You can copy those slides into a separate notebook yourself if you want to keep notes, if you want to write your notes yourself. So you'll have my notes and your own notes, whatever you want. There's multiple options and multiple choices. So I would say students, I mean, here it says students are required, but I would highly, strongly recommend that everybody installs OneNote and signs up for the class notebook. Again, it's a free software. It's very powerful. It'll keep everything organized for you. My OneNote books, I'll show you. See if I can open it up. And again, I had set all of this up 2 weeks ago, and now I don't know what they did with it. Okay, so maybe from Wednesday onwards, you can see what it is. Lecture videos, all lecture meetings are recorded and posted for learning. Again, as I said, you can replay this video as many times as you want. Primary attendance is in person in the classroom. Only if you have an excuse, then you go to Zoom. Course learning goals and outcomes. The course gives the non-EE student an understanding of the fundamentals and the principles of electrical engineering. And one of the primary reasons is that if you want to become a licensed professional engineer, the first thing you need to do is pass the fundamentals of engineering examination. And to pass the FE examination, you need to know this stuff. You need to know this material. And again, as I said, everything that you see on here is something that your department told us to teach you. All right, so all the topics that are covered right here, everything is based on what your departments have told us. Now, these verbs that you see here, understand, they're kind of like outdated. Bloom's taxonomy says, what is understanding? Understanding means different things, I mean, different to different people, right? Understanding is very abstract. So that's not personally, I feel that's not good. But this is the ABET syllabus, and that's what I'm following right now. So trying to modify anything in here is a big deal because it's not just unilateral, not just within my department. I have to go out and talk to each one of your departments out there, like all of them. And it's not easy to do. But first thing is analyze DC circuits. Sorry, not first thing. The topics, so the learning outcomes that you have here is the students would be able to analyze DC circuits, then analyze AC circuits, understand natural and force response, understand average power, reactive power, power factor, three-phase circuits, and then the frequency response. Now, most of it would not have any meaning right now at this point in time, but we will go and cover all of these topics and we'll make more and more sense as we go along. All right, any questions? Okay. Oh, no, this is correct. All right, textbook. I use Pearson's Mastering Engineering System for all homework assignments. How many of you are familiar with Pearson's Mastering Engineering? I think some of you might have used it. So that is not free. That necessitates a purchase. It requires a purchase of an access code. Okay, that typically is $65, but I've been on their case for the last year and a half to actually try to negotiate it down. But the most they would go down to was 52. Now, understand it's an additional financial burden on it, but I make it worth your while. The homework assignments are worth a massive 40% of your overall grade. So it's worth 40% of your overall grade. That's just right from talking all the time. I have a green pass too, I promise you. You just don't. The first thing when they did was back in March. I was like, I'm teaching in person, so I need to get on the vaccination list as soon as possible. And I got tested like last week. So didn't have any notification from there, which is how they do the surveillance testing. If you have ever been tested on campus, the saliva-based test is you just go and get tested. If they do not contact you, that means you are negative. Okay, all right. So as I was saying, the access code costs about $52. You sign up directly through Canvas. You do not go outside of it. If you go outside, it costs you $65. The homework assignments based on that system is worth 40% of your grade. Okay. The book that we use is Alan Hambley, Electrical Engineering Principles and Applications. A very good book for non-EE majors. I've used this since its third edition, even at Louisville. So I used to teach this exact same class at Louisville. We used to use the exact same book. There are a couple of other books that are used, like Rizzoni, and there's one more, I think. But Rizzoni and Hambley are the two most popular ones for non-EE majors. And the one that I prefer is basically Alan Hambley. The actual hardcover edition of this book is about $250, which ridiculous. But every publisher allows a professor or a university to actually customize it. So we take the book, which has like 20 chapters, and we only use about 7 chapters of that book, 6 actually. So we take the 6 chapters and they have a custom softcover version for us. It's not written by Cal Poly professor. Otherwise, I would just, if we had, like, we would just give it out for free. If I had written anything, I would just give it out for free. Now, officially, the book is not mandatory. So if you don't want to purchase the book, that's fine. But the access code is required. Okay, the access code is required. The author, if you purchase the book package in the bookstore, is listed as Gary Perks, is not Hambley. But again, the book is still Alan Hambley. This is just the professor who actually did the initiative of customizing the book. So when you customize it, we just took the chapters that we wanted and then threw out the rest that we are not covering in this class. So the entire book package is about $106, 106.50. And the package gives you the physical book, the online access code, plus the e-text. Now, unofficially off the record, even though I'm being recorded, actually, let's pause on the record. All right, so homework, as I was saying, homework counts for 40% of your overall grade. That 40% is broken up into 30 and 10. Okay, 30% is for the online mastering engineering homework. So the way this is structured is basically you have Canvas and you have mastering engineering. Okay, and I linked my Pearson account through Canvas. So you can solve the homework directly on mastering engineering, or you can solve it inside Canvas itself. But you do need to link your Pearson mastering account through Canvas. Basically, the first step, the way you sign up is basically you go to My Lab and Mastering on the left. You see this tab right here, My Lab and Mastering. You open that tab, and my account is already linked, of course. And here it'll ask you to go through a couple of clicks and enroll in the course. Now, do not enroll in the course on mastering engineering itself. Otherwise, you will not get any credit for your work. You have to go through Canvas. Also, the price, $52, is only if you go through Canvas. If you go outside of Canvas, it's going to be $65. Okay. And I believe there should be a 2-week trial, 2-week free trial. So if you're still trying to make up your mind whether you want to continue with this class or not, you can go ahead and register because they have a 2-week free trial. If you think you want to drop out of the class later in the week or next week or something, then you do not have to pay money right now. Okay. Now the grades are automatically synced. The homework assignments, the due dates are also automatically synced, meaning, and it's a one-way street. So if you do something on mastering engineering, it's automatically reflected in Canvas. Okay. So when I want to make changes, I make changes on mastering engineering and then it's reflected on Canvas. So oftentimes I might need to push the due date back a little bit. So I would change the due date of the homework here, and about 15 or 20 minutes later, it will show up on Canvas. Now, Canvas and mastering are not going to send you notifications, but the assignments will show up in your Canvas calendar. Okay, it'll show up as a normal assignment in your Canvas calendar, also in your assignment list. So it's up to you to keep track of when everything is due. All right, it's not going to send you an email, but it's going to show up on your calendar. All right, let's see. So sign up for mastering only through this Canvas course website. Do not use a course ID. Oh, the other thing I do, again, as part of the UDL principles is there's about 20 homework assignments, okay? 20 homework assignments. So there's a lot, and it's spread out. So you have to work hard to the entire quarter. You have to work for the entire quarter. If you take, it's not as if like you come and just learn for like a couple of weeks and oh, that's worth 20% of the overall grade. That's not how it works. The entire homework category is worth 40%. There's 20 homework assignments in there. So you have to work on each and every one to actually get a good grade. Conversely, if you don't, so it's easy to get a good grade in the class if you do the homework. If you don't do the homework, it's very hard to get a good grade. Now, the homework that you're doing, you will work on paper, or if you have like an iPad or a stylus device, electronic device with a stylus, you can work on the electronic device. You will work as if it was a normal paper-based assignment. You will write out your problems, you will have your answer, you will solve through everything, your process and everything, you'll have the final answer. The Mastering Engineering website, you will take that answer, you have to enter in the website. And then what you're going to do is you're going to scan the work that you did, your paperwork, and you will upload that PDF on Canvas. And that counts for 10% of your homework grade. So homework is split 30 and 10. Okay. If you do not do your uploads, or if you do not submit your uploads, you will not receive that 10%. It's 10% of your overall grade. There is no due date for the submission. There's no due date for this upload. Okay. The mastering homework itself will have due dates. So my expectation is that if the mastering homework is due, let's say on Friday, then you would upload your PDF also on Friday. Does that make sense? Right? Those submission links will not show up in your assignments. They're going to be way down the list because they are not dated. They're undated. And because they're undated, they will show up at the bottom. Okay, so they're not going to show up at the top. I can show them to you right now, actually. So if you go to assignments and let's do student view. So green pass is going to come up on top because it's there for every single class day, right? Then upcoming assignments, you have your discussion, which is due this Saturday. Then you have quiz 0, quiz 1. All of those are all the homework ones, the homework deadlines. Because this is done by date, everything that's has a submission date is going to show up here. Then if you scroll way at the bottom, then at the bottom you have these undated assignments. This is where you're going to submit the homework PDFs. So you scan, or whether you scan your paper submission, or whether you write it on a tablet, you're uploading a PDF file. So homework 01, 02, 03, student submission. All right. All right. So is that clear to everyone? Yes.
Basically, just to confirm again, the 10% of the one that was undated, just to need to scan whatever you write on there.
Yes.
That's just pre-10 point, or not pre-10.
Yes, but it's required for those 10, yeah.
Do we need like any specific paper that you want to write?
Now, there's an example document that I have on there. I don't know, it's not linked here right now. But it's like just make sure your work is legible and neat and easy to read. That's what it needs to be. Yes. So no, not for process, mostly for completion. Yeah. So I will go through it, make sure students are not like, just copying the answers of solution manuals and stuff like that. Because, I mean, again, it's an automated system. So Canvas, I mean, if students just obtain the solutions from somewhere, or if your buddy does it and you like just take the answer from your buddy and you just enter the answer in the system, you still get 100 points. So this is to make it fair and equitable to everyone. So you work on paper and then you submit your PDFs as evidence of your work. Yes.
The ones online, if I remember, I see like some online classes like that you need to do the answers. How many tries do you have?
So that's going to be excellent question. I grade for equity, meaning my goal is not to actually deduct, like, make it as hard as possible. My goal is to make sure students understand what they're doing. So I set it to the maximum number of attempts that are allowed, which is basically 30. System allows for a maximum attempts of 30. I set it to 30. You can take as many attempts as you want. to get your answer right. The only thing is, every attempt is going to cost you 3% of your earned credit. I don't know how the system calculates the deduction, because like, let's say if I have like a problem with 5 sub questions and I said set the problem to like 10 points. If you need like 2 attempts to get the second sub question correct, I've never been able to figure out how they actually calculate, those deductions. Sometimes it makes sense, most of the times it does not. But again, as I said, the goal is that I want students to earn as much close to 100% as possible. Students can keep trying. The first time you enter it, if your answer is incorrect, you try it again. But now your earned credit, the second time that you earn, is going to have 3% cut from the earned credit. Does that make sense? So if you keep on doing it and you take 30 attempts to get the answer correct, you would still earn 10%, right? It cuts back 3% of everything. So 30 attempts, about 90% is gone. Well, less than 90, but 87% is gone. But nobody has ever tried 30%. I mean, 30 attempts. The most I've seen someone do is about 10 or 12. Most people give up after like 2. But the point is, again, that I'm not making it harder for you. I'm grading for equity. I want you to make sure that each and every one of you understands what you're doing. Okay, so you take as many attempts as you need to get the answer correct. But then also have to reward students who get it right the first time. And so there's a small penalty of 3% for every new attempt. One other thing I do is to address the basic, like students come from all different kinds of levels. You have the basic levels, you have the students in the middle, and then you have advanced learners, right? So basic learners to advanced learners, I add extra credit problems scattered throughout my homework assignments. These are in the form of like tutorials and video solutions. They are completely optional, right? So if you feel like if you don't want to do those, you don't have to do those. Other students might feel like, hey, I need to learn a little bit more. I need some help in learning the basics. So I'm going to do the extra credit problems. So they're optional, but the incentive is that if you do those optional, the extra credit in those optional problems is going to count towards your homework. Not only towards your homework, not just that individual homework, it counts for your oral homework and it counts for your overall grade. Okay, so I've structured in such a way that it benefits you. As an example, let's say homework number 1 is worth, I don't know, 30 points. And and out of those 30 points, there's, let's say, 5 points extra credit. And you get some answers wrong, you earn only 27, but you did 5 points of extra credit. I will allow you to take those 5 points and apply to your homework. So now you, in effect, have earned 32 points. Does that make sense? So you actually earned more than 100%. You earned 32 out of 30. Those 2 extra points will count towards your overall homework grade, which is that 40%. So at the end, I've had students who earn like more than 40. So they earn like 41, 42, 43%. And those extra percentage points, I will carry those forward towards your overall grade. So if you lose, I don't know, if you lose points in your quizzes or on your final exam, those extra credit points from your homework will count and offset your losses in your final exam and other places going forward. Sounds good, right? So it is to your advantage to do the extra credit optional programs. Yes.
The extra credit questions also apply the penalty of 3% off.
I believe so. Yes. I think the course said that's a good question. I actually never thought about it. So the question being asked was, do the extra credit problems also are subject to the same limits, maximum limits? And I believe the answer is yes. Yeah. Okay. Communication in office hours. Email is the best way to get in touch with me. htrada@calpoly.edu. As simple as that. Do not use Canvas messaging to contact me at all. Just caused me issues in the past, and I prefer not to use it. So if you send me a question on Canvas, likely is that I would probably see it a month later. So do not use Canvas messaging. I know most of your professors might be using Canvas, so it might get hard to keep track of everything. For that reason, is something I would encourage you to use OneNote divide it into different, have a separate notebook, not notebook, have a separate section for each one of your classes, and have the policies for each class right on the front page. That'll help you keep track of everything. So email is the best way to get in touch with me. I'm not a millennial, but my smartphone is still tied to my hip at all times. Um, my response time is usually 30 minutes or less, well, depending on whether I'm in class or out of class. Uh, we are required, well, every one of us is required to use the official Cal Poly email ID. That's because it's a verified email address and it's tied to each and every single one of you. So if you need to contact your professors, not just this class, any other class, you should always use your official Cal Poly email ID. And the big reason is because it's a verified email address. Anybody can spoof a personal email address. You can go out there and make an address like Trada 2009, Trada 2014, and it doesn't mean that it belongs to me, right? That email address could belong to anyone. So if somebody wants a personal information about you, well, let's hope it doesn't happen. But if somebody makes a personal email address about you and sends you an email saying, "Hey, what was my grade in this class? What's my overall grade? How am I doing in this class?" If I just look at the name, I might think that the student is in one of my classes, but the email address is probably not yours. And I might divulge some personal information that I'm not supposed to. And then I would get in trouble. And well, of course, and then, it's loss of information for you, loss of person. So always make sure that you use your official Cal Poly email ID to, especially if you're requesting any personal information. All right. Let's see. My office is in Engineering East, room 131. Engineering East is basically this building right here. We are here. Graphic Arts is right here. Right? We are basically approximately here in this classroom. And Engineering East is right there. That's it. My office, room 131, is at the other end, far end of the building right here. Can everyone see the cursor? So it's right here. It's a big lab room. Share an office space with Professor Chuck Bland. And our names are outside the door, so you can easily find us. It's room 131. This building has 5 entrances, one each right here at the wings, and then one on this side and one on the other side. The entrance closest to Dexter Lawn is the best, best and the quickest way to actually come in. And my office is, I say, it's a safe place for all students. Everybody can feel free to stop by anytime, whether during office hours, outside of office hours. You want to talk about class, you want to talk about anything else, feel free to come in anytime. My office hours, my schedule is actually listed right here. You can see I teach 3 classes, 9 to 12, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then I have 3 labs. Anytime you send me an email, just make sure that your subject line has this, EE201-04. That is all I need. You do not have to write in anything else. In the subject line, you don't have to write, I have a question about this class, I have this, I have that, homework question, quiz question, nothing like that. Just say EE201-04. That's it. That's because I have filtering. So if I have the subject line, it automatically filters down into the folder. It makes it very easy for me to answer. I also have like 36 students in each class and about 24 students in each lab. So that's more than 200 students. If you send me an email, it saves me a lot of time trying to figure out like which class the student belongs to. Okay. Office hours, you have 3 times. The 3 times are listed here just means that I'm guaranteed to be in the office during those times. Okay. But I'm on campus every day, 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. every single day, and then till 6 p.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm happy to see students. So I'm 18 hours, I'm in the classroom or in the lab. Outside of those 18 hours, I have some times that are blocked off, but I'll probably be in my office. If you have a quick question and you stop by, I'm not going to turn you away. So I'm available even outside of the office hours, but my availability may fluctuate. I might like step out, go to another office. I might have gone to the department office, might be doing some paperwork, I might be doing some lab work, some research work, some experiments, but I would still be available. Okay, so even on these times, even on Thursdays, If you need to come see me, feel free to do so. If you don't feel like walking, you send me a email and I can meet you via Zoom. Okay. So I'm more than happy to have Zoom office hours. Again, as I said, these are in person, but if you're already somewhere else, like maybe half an hour away from campus or 10 minutes away from campus, you need to like talk to me. I'm happy to meet via Zoom anytime. We have 4 minutes left, and just one other thing I need to talk about is assignments and grading. So homework, as I mentioned, is 40%. That 40% is broken down into 30% Pearson's online mastering system and 10% your uploads. No midterms in my classes, only quizzes, a series of quizzes. So we'll have 9 quizzes starting from next Monday. The intent or the structure is basically you have homework that is due during the week, you study over the weekend, and then you come bright and early on Monday morning and you give that quiz. And those are worth about 40% of your final grade. 40, 40, and then final exam worth 20%. That's 100. And then extra credit, evaluation response rate, extra 1% on top of everything. I will talk about that during last week of class. Nothing is optional. I do not drop anything in my classes. Everything is mandatory, just the way the class is structured. Standard plus minus grading policy. Please read through this at your own time. And if you have any questions, you let me know. Final exam, day and time is already posted directly from the front page, Friday, December 10th, from 10 to 1. It'll be in this classroom, but I'm thinking I might, sometimes I have like common finals, and so then it might be on the Saturday before that. So, but then we'll talk about that as we get closer to the end of the quarter. Okay, let's see, what else was there? Why is this? Class schedule, you can look at it later. Assignments. Again, go through these, go through the points that I have posted here. Let me know if you have any questions. And academic honesty. One final thing in the 2 minutes that we have left. All right. So it's my short spiel. I know grades are very important, but grades are only important to get your foot in the door, meaning a good GPA is going to get you an interview. Once you have the interview, you're going to sit across the table from about, like technical people, HR people. They're going to ask you technical questions. If you're not able to answer those technical questions, you're not going to be able to get a job. So I always tell students, run after knowledge and the grades will take care of themselves. Do not just try to cheat or obtain answers from someone else. Now, cheating happens in multiple ways. There's blatant cheating where you just take the answers, somebody else's answers, and use it as your own. Other cheating is basically you are skipping certain sections, maybe only skimming doing only what little is necessary without actually understanding the topic or the technique that we're trying to learn. In all cases, you are cheating yourself out of your own education. You are paying money to educate yourself to gain some knowledge, to gain a degree. So just say no to cheating, because otherwise you're simply cheating yourself out of your own education. That's my only spiel about cheating and academic honesty. So we'll end class here today, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Have a good day. If you have any questions, I'm around for 10 minutes for my next class. Nice to meet you.
So on Friday, the finals.